Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and I'm out here in the garage for another Garage Gun Talk, and I just got done cleaning a bunch of guns, and I realized that I made a mistake. And it's not really a bad mistake, and some of you guys are going to say it's actually a good thing, but I totally forgot the smell of hoppies, or is it hops or hoppies? I've heard people say it's both. Number 9. This oil, or this gun cleaning agent or chemical, has such a unique smell, and it's kind of potent. I like other ones that don't have that. I've been using this Hoppe's number 9 black, and since it's a high performance gun cleaner, but it's doesn't have the same smell. And I guess I've just gotten used to gun cleaners that do not smell, and I ran out of this, and so I had a bottle of this, and so I filled this with this and cleaned some guns, and oh my gosh, does the garage smell. And I know some people absolutely love the smell of this stuff, but I don't care for it. I don't care for it. I even went inside the house because I had to go wash my hands, and my wife was like, "You smell like gun oil." I'm like, yeah, or CLP or whatever. So first off, tell me, is it hops or hoppies? And do you guys like the smell of the famous hops or hoppies number 9? We all know what it smells like, and it is, I guess for some people they say it smells great. For me, it's something I could pass on. I don't like it when the chemicals smell. But anyway, today was a really big day in the world of gun rights legal cases. If you guys don't know, the Supreme Court heard the oral arguments for the Cargill case, which deals with bump stocks. And I've watched a few of the Legal Eagle gun channels today and heard their takes on it. Now, I didn't go back and, I guess, read the transcripts or heard the oral arguments. I will get around to doing that. But I heard the people kind of analyzing what they think is going to happen based off of the questions and the things that the justices said. But I'm curious what you guys think. And right now, I'm just kind of going off other people's thoughts on the thing and just some basic knowledge of the case. I will say, though, I am positive, or I'm feeling positive about the outcome of this case, because even though there was a circuit split, I really feel like if they didn't want to overturn it, 4 justices would not have voted to take this case. It doesn't really seem like many of the justices are very passionate about it, with the exception of Alito, which kind of surprised me because I kind of thought that Justice Thomas would be the one spearheading this. And I guess based off of the questions he was asking, a lot of people think he was playing devil's advocate, but people couldn't kind of read the tea leaves when it comes to his line of questioning. And some other people were saying that when it came to Justice Coney Barrett, that it appears that while she has done her research, she still doesn't completely understand the mechanics of firearms. So there's some questions on how this is going to go down, but everyone says pretty much it's probably going to be a pretty narrow ruling, which will deal just with the bump stocks. It's not going to go into dealing with the NFA, the legalities of that. It's just going to be a statutory interpretation. And most likely the outcome of the voting is going to be very narrow, probably 5-4. That's kind of what the people that know the court and follow the arguments and what the justices said today is most likely going to be the outcome. So a lot of people are saying it's going to go in our favor, but it's going to be a 5-4 ruling, and it's going to be extremely narrow. But I really feel like when it comes to this case, and I've been thinking about this all day, is if the outcome of the case is on our side, as I said, I don't really think it's going to do much. I guess it would, in the short term, make bump stocks legal again, but I don't think you're going to see any companies making them or selling them. So it's not like, overnight the bump stock industry is going to flourish. So I don't think you're going to see that. But I think the downside to us having a victory is a lot bigger than an upside. And let me explain. If by chance it's overturned, and depending on the makeup of future Congresses, that might give them the I guess, the energy or the desire to want to amend the NFA. And once you start amending the NFA to include bump stocks, and if they have the momentum to pass something, I think you're going to see them try to throw in more stuff. And I think it opens the door for future Congresses to not just ban bump stocks, but to ban other things like binary triggers, anything that accelerates the rate of fire. And you might also see them get into amending the cost of the tax stamp or the way that the forms are processed. And I really think it opens the door to bad things, because they, in reaction to a pro-Second Amendment victory on a very narrow ruling, could end up being very bad for us. So I do kind of worry about that. But I also worry about, if it is a loss on our side, it's going to open the door even more to the ATF beginning to just regulate everything out of existence, I think, up and to semi-automatic firearms. Because you will find that then all they have to have is a vague statutory interpretation and say, for example, a Glock pistol. Well, we all know that a Glock 17 is not a machine gun. Well, they will begin to argue that, well, with enough knowledge and know-how, you can convert one, or if you pull your, trigger fast enough, it kind of simulates fire, and they'll come up with some arbitrary number, then everything that is semi-automatic will be banned, and they'll be able to do it without legislation, and the precedent will be set. They'll say, well, the Supreme Court said that we can interpret this. We have a wide, variance in our interpretation of this. And so I can see that future administrations would tell the ATF to just ban AR-15s. They could do it through executive order. So I really don't see a big upside to us winning the case. And I see a huge downside to us winning the case and losing the case. I really am not pleased in my mind with the outcome of this. And as I said, if you think about what companies will do, let's just say bump stocks become legal again. I just don't think, from a litigation standpoint, maybe at the state level, that you're going to see companies make them again. You might see people begin to find the ones that they forgot to destroy. But you might also see people start to 3D print them, and there might be some type of cottage industry for that. But I don't think you're ever going to see a company like Slidefire or the other companies that made the bump stocks start to make them again. I don't think you'll see them on store shelves, because they'll be worried about litigation. I know you'll say, well, it's a legal product, but if they're ever used in a crime, if they're ever used wrongly, I could see sue-happy lawyers going after stores, distributors, and so forth, and the companies, even though they're legal, selling a legal product. And they're going to claim that maybe they're not covered under the, what's that law? I'm trying to think of what it's called. The lawful protection, not lawful. Anyway, you guys know what I'm talking about. The law that protects the firearms manufacturers and shields them from litigation if people use their products incorrectly in crimes, because it's not the company's fault. But, of course, the Democrats and the left want to go after that. But I could see people arguing, well, it doesn't cover, accessories. Whatever. But anyway, that's just kind of my thoughts out here tonight. And anyway, so that's all I really got for you. I just wanted to make a quick video, mainly because of the smell of my garage right now. So do you guys like the smell of this stuff? And is it hops or hoppies? I've heard people say both. And what do you guys think about the bump stock case and what you heard today regarding the possible outcomes and the analyses of the oral arguments? And I guess we're all going to find out what happens in June. But as I said, my general take on it is, if we win, it's not going to be that much of a victory. If we win, it potentially could be a huge loss, because it could light the fire under Congress to amend the NFA. And I'm a big fan of out of sight, out of mind, because once they start digging into that, it could get really bad for a lot of people. And if we lose, obviously that, essentially throws the door wide open to way more things being banned. And I guess before I let you guys go for the night, it's a good time to remind you of something that I have talked about before. that you guys get upset with me when I say that I'm not going to vote in this year's election because there's nobody on the ballot that is pro-Second Amendment. And you guys will say, well, Trump is better than Biden. Now, listen, I'm not saying, that, Trump isn't better than Biden. But I'm going to tell you that all this stuff that we're dealing with now, especially the bump stock case, and the ATF reinterpreting things and calling inanimate accessories as machine guns, just saying, hey, this shoelace is a machine gun, this stock, this item that doesn't even have the potential of discharging a projectile is a machine gun. All of this is because of Trump. And it's something that, honestly, I can't forgive him for. I can't forgive him for. I know what people will say about certain presidents being the most anti-gun. It doesn't matter if it wasn't his intentions. Donald Trump was the most anti-Second Amendment president we've ever had. I know. And some of you guys aren't going to like me saying that. And I'm not saying I don't want him to win or I would not prefer him over Biden. I'm not saying that. But I'm just telling you that I could see him getting in office again and something happening, and he's going to run his mouth and be like, I'm going to tell the ATF to do this. We've gone over the litany of things that he said regarding things like, we need to take guns and then have due process, or just tell the ATF to ban bump stocks. He did all that. So anyway, that's all I wanted to talk about tonight. Not too exciting. Nothing else really going on. So I'm going to go inside, try to wash my hands, and get this smell off me. It's absolutely terrible. But anyway, what's the word of the day? What's the word of the day if you watch to the end of this video? I think the word of the day is going to be hops or hoppies. Once again, tell me what it is. Anyway, hope you guys are having a wonderful evening, and sorry it's not too exciting tonight, but I can't hit a home run with these every single night. So anyway, have a wonderful evening, and as always, thanks for watching.